Hello and welcome. I am Exit Light and this is my channel. Today we're going to talk about some Texas Ranger cold cases and see if there's anyone out here who might have some information that the Texas Rangers could find necessary. Alright, before we get started, if you would please give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed and you would like to be, please go ahead and do so. Let's go. Unfortunately, not all crimes and homicides are solved, but that doesn't mean that law enforcement and investigators have forgotten about them. They're just waiting for that one important tip that could potentially solve it. There are numerous cases throughout Texas, where I live, that are unsolved, but all it takes is someone remembering just a small detail that could make all the difference for the family looking for that person. So let's hope that we can maybe find that one small detail. And remember this, after seeing these pictures and listening to these stories, if you have any information that you think could help law enforcement, please call the Texas Crime Stoppers tip line, where you can remain anonymous. Texas Crime Stoppers is offering a cash reward of up to $3,000 to anyone who provides information that leads to the arrest of the person or persons responsible for these crimes. The first one is Pamela Mcdonald. On April 2nd, 2009, Pamela Mcdonald was in Midland, and she was reported missing. Soon after disappearing, her vehicle was located in Ward County near Monahans, Texas. I hope I said that right. In January of 2012, her skeletal remains were located in Upton County, not far from the Midland County line. Midland County Sheriff's Department and Texas Rangers continue to investigate to seek justice for her children. Her reference number is 243, and it's considered unsolved. Her race is white. She's a female. She's from Midland. The related year here is 2009, and the suspect is a man named Charles McDonald. Our next one is the Ariana Family. On April 16th of 1968, the Ariana Family, which was made up of Juan, who was 29 years old, Monica, who was 24, Rosa, who was 21, Eduardo, who was 1, Leticia, who was 2, and Manuel Jr., who was 5, were traveling from Mexico to San Angelo, Texas, to meet with their family members. Their car broke down with a flat tire sometime after that. Then, the 5 members of the family were found murdered in rural Edwards County, which is south of Sonora, Texas. Their bodies were located near Highway US 277. The victims had been shot, stabbed, beaten, and Rosa had been assaulted in a way that I can't really specify on here. Leticia died at the hospital 2 days later, and the only sole survivor of the incident was Manuel Ariano Jr. Over the years, multiple leads have been followed without any success. The case remains one of the most heinous unsolved mass murders in Texas to this day. As of this time, no pictures of the family are even available. The victims were traveling in a white over blue 1958 Buick. The Texas Rangers are seeking the public's help to solve this case. It is listed as reference number 256, unsolved, race Hispanic, County Edwards, in the year 1968. And now, Elizabeth Barkley. On October 1979, 7-year-old Elizabeth Lynn Barkley was walking down the street in the area of 2900 West Northwest Highway, Dallas, when witnesses described that she was abducted and struck multiple times by a black male driving a dark-colored vehicle, possibly a two-door Buick. In December of 1979, Elizabeth was located deceased in the Hiram-Willis Point Road area in Van Zandt County on the side of the road. An autopsy was conducted and determined the cause of death to be homicide. The Dallas Police Department maintains an open homicide investigation and is being assisted by the Texas Rangers. Her reference number is 263. She's white. She's female. The city was Dallas. The county was Dallas. The related year was 1979. The suspect is a black male. This next one is Kathleen Ranft. On April 5, 1985, the Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office received a missing persons report involving the disappearance of the 29-year-old Kathleen Laura Atwood Ranft. Ranft was in the process of a divorce and had recently began working at a local tire service business. It was Kathleen's employer who contacted the Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office after she did not report to work. Kathleen's vehicle was located at a local nightclub. Other circumstances indicated that Kathleen was a victim of foul play, probably a homicide. Ranft's body has not been recovered. Several leads have been reported over the years as to Ranft's disappearance, all of which were met with negative results. This is an active case with the Texas Rangers Division Unsolved Crimes Investigation Program, and they are seeking your help with information about Kathleen's disappearance. Her reference number is 276. She's a female. She's white. It was in the county of Guadalupe in 1985. And that leads us to Derek Jackson. On Sunday, September 23, 1990, during the early morning hours, an intruder entered into an apartment in Vernon, Texas. The intruder shot the mother and her two sons, 12-year-old Derek Jackson and 14-year-old James Edwards. Vernon is a very small city, for the record. Derek and James died from the gunshot wounds. The mother, who fought with the intruder, was shot several times, but she survived. The intruder fled on foot. This reference number is 22. The race is black. He's male. He was in Vernon, in the county of Wilbarger. The related year is 1990, and the suspect was a black male. Also on the list is his brother, James Edwards. His reference number is also 22. His race, black. Sex, male. Vernon, Wilbarger County, 1990. Suspect, black male. And then we have James Schussler. On October 14th, 2001, James Charles, or Jimmy as he was known, Schussler was found deceased at his residence in Mason County. Investigation revealed Schussler was the victim of an unknown attacker. At the time of his death, Schussler was married and the father of 2 children. Despite the efforts of investigators, the case has never been solved. The Schussler family and the Texas Rangers continue to search for the truth, and if you have any information regarding this awful crime, please submit the information. His reference number is 267. His race is white. His sex is male. The city was Mason. The county's Mason. And the year is 2001. And they have no suspect. Veronica Taylor. On the morning of Thursday, March 26, 1987, the body of 13-year-old Veronica Taylor was discovered in a snow-covered field next to FM 1729, located in eastern Lubbock County, Texas. Veronica had suffered blunt force trauma. Veronica was last seen departing a relative's apartment the previous evening. Veronica was a 6th grade student at Murphy Elementary in Lubbock, Texas. Her reference number is 49. Her race is black. Her sex is female. The city was Lubbock. The county was Lubbock. And the year is 1987. And there is no suspect. Natasha Ashley. On May 3rd, 1992, at about 10 o'clock in the morning, after 19-year-old Natasha Ashley attended a late-night, early-morning birthday party in Shepherd, which is San Jacinto County. Her car was found burned on a rural road approximately a mile from the party. Natasha's body was located in the trunk of her car. Natasha previously attended school in nearby Livingston, which was in Polk County, but moved and graduated from Odessa Permian High School in 1990. Ashley was visiting friends from Livingston at the time of her murder. Her reference number is 160. Her race is white. She's a female. The city was Shepherd. The county is San Jacinto. The year was 1992, and they have no suspect. Reina Ricoñez was reported missing on March 13, 1995. Reina Ricoñez was reported missing by her father. Reina's father reported that she was last seen way back on June 21st of 1994 in Valparaiso, Texas. It is believed that Reina was going to a residence in the Fremont, Texas area. Reina was not seen or heard from after she left her parents' residence on June 21st, 1994. Law enforcement presumed that Reina is deceased and her body has not yet been recovered. Reina was married and had a 1-year-old daughter when she went missing. Her reference number is 218. Her race is unknown. Her sex is female. The city was Fall Furious. The county was Brooks, and the related year was 1994. Then we have Marianne Wilkinson. On December 9th, 2007, Marianne Wilkinson was enjoying a quiet evening with her husband of 46 years when the doorbell rang. When Marianne opened the door to greet the visitor, she was shot multiple times by an unidentified individual. Marianne died in her home as a result of the attack. Marianne Wilkinson was born November 4th, 1939, and was the mother to 2 children and a grandmother to 4. She graduated from SMU in 1961. Marianne was very active in her church, First Baptist Church of Keller, where she attended a bi-weekly prayer group and served on the social committee for her Sunday school class. She and her husband had been enjoying their retirement years by traveling. Now, I don't know this to be a fact, but it feels like when things like that happen, there's usually some extramarital things involved, or some jealousy of some sort, especially to be shot point blank. Her reference number is 138. Her race is white. She's a female. The city was North Richland Hills. The county was Tarrant. And this was in 2007. Our next one is Samantha Zublionis. On September 3rd, 1994, the body of Samantha Zublionis, who was 17 years old, was found in a rural northeast Frio County. The investigation determined that she had been the victim of homicide. Samantha lived in San Antonio and was last seen on July 30th, 1994. Samantha attended MacArthur High School and she was living on her own. She had recently started working at the Wendy's restaurant on Nacogdoches Road and Loop 410. At the time of her disappearance, she was in the process of obtaining her own apartment. She had been staying temporarily at different friends' residences and was last living at the Danbury Apartments in northeast San Antonio. The Texas Rangers are seeking information about the circumstances surrounding her disappearance and murder. Her reference number is 73. Her race is unknown. Her sex is female. The city was San Antonio. The county is Bexar. And the related year is 1994. Our next one is Harold William Rowland. He went by Bill. And he was last seen in San Augustine County on July 21st, 1997. Bill resided in Lufkin, Angelina County, but he owned a lake house on Lake Sam Rayburn in San Augustine County. Roland told a witness that he was going to go fishing. Roland's wife reported him missing the following morning. Also missing were Roland's pickup truck, his pontoon boat, and a boat trailer. During the next 3 months, Roland's pickup was found burned in a rural area of Angelina County, and it was considered arson. Roland's boat trailer was found abandoned in a national forest in San Augustine County, and Roland's pontoon boat was located hidden under willow trees on Lake Sam Rayburn. The pontoons on the boat had been shot, probably in an attempt to sink the craft. Extensive searches and interviews have not revealed the location of Roland. Investigators suspect that Roland was murdered. His number is 135. His race is white. He's a male. The county was San Augustine, and the year was 1997. And that wraps it up for today. Thank you for coming. If you have any information, please do contact the Texas authorities and help these families to get some closure to the loss of their family members. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. And also, if you're not subscribed, please do so. Good night.